Welcome to the Brass Neck Podcast, brought to you by No Mean Radio here at the Variety Bar on Sucky Hall Street. Today's guest is one of a handful of Scottish wrestlers ever to be signed to the WWE. We discuss how high fructose corn syrup can lead to modern-day Victorian diseases, learning how to swanton bomb so you can wrestle in a post office in East Kilbride, and how having a brass neck can take you from working in an East End pub in Glasgow to training The Rock for Wrestlemania in Los Angeles. He's one of the best in the world. He is Wolfgang. A fine wee lass, a bonny wee lass, is bonny wee Jeannie McCall. I gave her my mother's engagement ring and a bonny wee tartan shawl. I met her at a wedding in the Cooperative Hall. I was the best man and she was the belle of the ball. So, what time did you get back for America? Last night? Yesterday?
I left Florida on Monday evening, landed in Dublin at 9 o'clock, and then I was meant to have a 7-hour layover, and luckily the lassie changed it for me, so I left at 10, landed about 12, home, lunch, an hour's sleep, and then out to coach, 6 till 10.
Yep.
Home, Chinese, bed, up. Here.
Right, well, I'll get to the American career good bit soon, but the important bit, what did you order for your Chinese?
I always get the same thing. I like to dabble.
Right.
But after staying in America for the last 3 years and having to eat their Chinese food,
I've heard.
which is nice.
But what's the place? What's the
place?
Panda something?
Panda Express.
Panda Express, aye.
That's like the big chain one, but
Aye.
they have normal Chinese restaurants.
Do they? I thought they just had one big one, like
I don't know.
big
That's the only
Chinese.
one.
like Big Pharma,
Big
Big
companies,
Chinese.
Big Chinese. It's only Panda Express.
Orange chicken.
That's the thing.
That's the big gimmick, right?
Aye. But no, I'm a simple man.
I know.
Chicken curry.
Chicken curry. Right, America, right? You lived there for how long? 6 years?
3 years.
Right, well, let's double it. Let's make it sound more impressive and say
I was working there since 2017.
Right.
But I lived there since 2000, January 23.
And you'd been back and forward before moving, right?
Aye.
How did you... No, I heard about the American food. Everybody goes mad about American food. I personally didn't like it. Right. I just thought everything was just... I was getting annoyed at how much they were giving me.
Aye. Big portions.
Oh, but just ridiculous. Like the waste. I was like,
what kind of places were you going to?
Wait, oh, that was Vegas.
Right, okay.
Right, so, like, I kind of wish I'd tried like an American McDonald's.
Right, aye.
Which I've heard is not as good as the UK now.
I mean, chips are always good, but their chicken nuggets aren't as good.
Are you talking crisps?
No.
Right.
No.
Chips. Chips.
Our chips.
Right.
Fries.
Right. Okay.
McDonald's chips are the same everywhere you go, but
Yeah.
what they put in their chicken nuggets is different. I think it's just the batter, to be honest.
I think it's because they don't have the laws that we've got. Like
Aye.
they're legally allowed to poison people
With high fructose corn syrup.
Oh, all right. Spring rolls.
Right.
They shouldn't be sweet, right? I got a spring roll platter, and it was like daft flavors, like cheeseburger spring rolls.
Aye.
And I'm like, why is there icing on this?
Why couldn't it just be normal? Aye.
It was just, everything was sweet.
Everything's sweet.
You have a piece. Aye.
The bread's sweet.
What is that all about?
So I suffer from gout. You know this.
I know this. Aye.
I thought it was just red meat that was a trigger. And when I first went out to America, January 2023, I came off the plane and I couldn't walk. Like,
I remember you
try to limp. I had a walk stick.
You had a stick for a while.
My wife was with me.
Mm-hmm.
I had to hold on to her as we were walking through the airport because it was agony, as if I broke my ankle.
Yep.
And it was the Coca-Cola on the plane on the way out.
Oh, right.
Because that doesn't use real cane sugar. It uses high fructose corn syrup, which is poison, like you were saying.
Aye.
And it gives you the same effects as what alcoholism does. It kills your kidneys and your liver. And it's a massive trigger for gout for me. So
That was a good start.
well,
You get a gout flare up before you landed.
I was getting into training at the PC and I couldn't walk, and I was trying to do drills and move around, but I had to tell all my peers, "Oh, I've got gout," by the way, as if I'm an old man.
No, first date training.
Aye. Sorry, I've got gout. I used to sit there on my walk stick if I couldn't walk.
When you first
Just
told
laugh at me. It's like, this is a serious condition. I've got a blue badge.
I remember you told me you had gout, and I was like,
What?
That's like telling me you had scurvy.
I know.
Or fucking trench foot or something. I was like, that's a pure Victorian disease.
When I got it, I was like 30.
I know.
I wasn't even like
Because
older.
I remember you saying like red meat.
Aye.
And,
So I thought it would be steak,
Well,
whatever.
But
But
I think the thing you missed most was like you couldn't have square sausage. That gave you flare up. Didn't it?
no, breakfast lawn
Square sausage.
made
eh?
for pork.
Oh,
So I
is
can
it?
have that.
Oh, you
aye.
can have it.
If it's breakfast lawn, but if
Oh,
it's
you can beef as well, right?
if
You
it's
get
a
different
beef,
right.
beef is what it normally is. It would be steak slice or something like that. You
steak
can't
slice.
have that. But in America, high fructose corn syrup, the government said it's okay not to use real cane sugar, so they all use this artificial stuff.
Aye.
And it's a killer.
It's like
It's in everything. It's in sausages. I had to read every single packet.
Everything. It's crazy, and I mean, like you go, like I mean, obviously Vegas is like it's not really a real place, right? It's like just this created place in the middle of the desert. But there's just no reason for anybody to have to drink that much. Like everything was like, I'm like, stop giving me things
Like
in
gallons,
buckets.
aye.
Like a gallon of what is? I don't want it.
Free refills.
Free
though.
refills.
I wish they had that here. That's one thing I
My
miss.
God.
There's a couple of things for America that I would have back here. One of them's free refills. Another one's if you're at a petrol station
Yep.
and as you're pumping the gas, as they say, there's a wee thing that flicks down and hods it on for you. It's probably dangerous. It's why they don't have it here. But being able to just put that on and then
Is that how they do it in America? Just leave it.
go a wee walk and come back and it's done.
But how much petrol are you putting on that? Would it overflow? Would it not?
Well, like you go in, you say I want 10 on 2.
Right.
You give them $10. You go out and they'll assign you $10, so it won't go past that.
Do you need to then?
You need to pay before you go in.
Do you need to then tip him? But then that's another thing as
Just
well.
tons of wee thing round.
I
Tipping culture's
I
mental.
found it so rude.
Aye,
Rude. It's
everybody.
Listen, if you give me great service and you're really nice, and I get that you're working for tips, cool. But don't shout at me and call me back because I didn't tip you for opening a door that I didn't ask you to open.
No.
I'll open my door myself.
There's so much. They just accept it now.
it's
They've a wee
terrible.
monitor in front and they'll just turn it around. You want to give me $1, $2, $3
Man.
or anything, whatever you want.
Aye.
You've just done your job.
And I don't feel
You've
like
just
it's
done
rude.
what I'm paying you today
Aye.
anyway.
It's not my fault that you work for free.
Do
you know what I mean?
But
Like-
even in shops, I guess they don't work for free. If they're getting paid, and I don't know what they're getting paid, but it's just annoying that everything you go, it feels like every day in America somebody wants money off you.
Aye.
Everywhere you go.
You can't eat. Like when I went there, I'm going, you don't know how much to take away you because nothing is what, like, if something's $15, it's no,
Then,
it never
'cause you
is.
add the tax.
And then you need to tip them for serving you. Are you mental?
Do your job
Oh
anyway.
my God, I don't know. So I don't know how any of you have ever done it. It's
Well, I tried it for 3 years.
right. I just so this is what always kind of blew my mind. Like going out there, just the absolute culture shock of the whole place. There was not one bit of it that felt familiar
They
to me.
speak English,
Yeah.
but it's a completely foreign land.
Oh
It
my
might as well be the other side of the world.
Aye, right. And it's like, I've got lots of American pals that I've met through wrestling and whatever else. And it's like, I can like them, but still not get them. But there's other times where I'm just like, I just cannot get on with you. I don't know what to say. I just don't know. You're saying stuff to me that I don't know what any of it means. But to think about living there, I mean,
It was good for a while, and me and Louise made up a nice wee life in a place called Mount Dora, which felt a lot like home.
Yeah.
Like we were in Orlando for a year or two, and it was just overwhelming. If you've ever
Aye.
spent time in London, it's just too much.
Yep.
The motorists are crazy.
They're used to it.
Aye,
So
so
the
they
cha-
need to do it.
The chaos means nothing to them.
Aye.
But for you,
Being outside,
it was
and
like Drew was saying, like road rage.
aye.
You have to put up with it because if you get out of your car like you would here, they've got guns.
Oh, they'll put bullets in you,
Exactly.
and you just like somebody speeds past you, like you would maybe took your horn at them here or gave them something, but you just can't there.
I would last 20 minutes. I'd last 20 minutes and they'd be pumping my guts full of lead.
Our pal Kim,
Yeah.
her and her man were staying in this wee estate, and they were out walking a dog, and they heard gunshots, and they
Yeah.
saw it was fireworks or something, but it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They've walked around to see what was going on. There was a guy alive, lying on the street, acting very casual, just been shot in the leg, as if it was just a minor inconvenience to
Aye,
him.
like he's rolled his ankle in the curb.
Aye, he's like, oh, I need to wait in an ambulance. Like, you just been shot.
Have you got insurance? No, well, you're just going to die there.
But aye. You limp to the hospital.
It's not right, man.
It
It's
isn't
not right.
It is.
And it's like, I think a lot of stuff kind of bothers me because you go, how can that be allowed? Like, how can you, it's like, I had a mate who lived in Manhattan and he was talking about like during the COVID years and lockdown, there was like refrigerated lorries that would drive about New York, but nothing was open. So they weren't delivering to any restaurants or whatever else. And it was them going and getting bodies for buildings because if you don't have insurance, you will be turned away and you go home and die in your house.
Wow.
How bad is that?
I got bleak.
Do you know what I mean? It got really bleak. But let's bring it back up. You get signed for WWE. Right, so before we get there, right, I remember, like, I've got really vivid memories of, like, my first time at training and who I met and, like, the whole way I felt and all that. And it
You
never,
tell us this story.
never,
I was there.
You weren't there,
Aye.
right? But it never, in my head, you can imagine what I had built this up to be, right? And I got there and it was in a dump of an industrial estate in Cambuslang, right? The old BCW training. The big potholes that you could have drowned in if you fell in them. And then basically a converted garage. The door and the big shutter.
Just a big unit.
Aye. And then inside it was freezing. If it was snowing, it snowed inside. If it was raining, it was wet inside. But it was weird because, like, thinking back, although it was such a shithole, and we used to train a lot. It was 4 hours on a Tuesday, 4 hours on a Thursday, 8 hours every
on a
Sunday. And there was nowhere I would rather be than in that place.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Like, it was a dump, but like that was the place that it meant everything to us, right?
Aye.
So my first ever day, I was there early, obviously, and I was waiting for people coming in, and I was waiting for, I don't know who I was waiting for walking in the door, but
somebody that looks like a pro wrestler.
Somebody looks like a pro wrestler, right? Anybody, one person that looked more like a wrestler than me because I was 16 still at school. So I remember somebody walking in, I don't remember who it was, but he can't possibly be a wrestler. And then Big Kev, Ming Big Kev, DOA, walked in. I was like, right, big long hair, big beard, Kevin Mikey.
Collar boss,
and Abaddon. Not dead on arrival, drunk on arrival.
Drunk on arrival.
And then
Nuki Brun.
Who?
They used to have balls in Nuki Brun. That's what they bring to the ring.
And then somebody walked in. I'm like, he can't possibly be coming here to wrestle. And it was Andy, right? Because Andy was just a normal, just a wee guy, trachea on. Like Ned, he's the kind of person that would slag me for liking wrestling and throw stuff at me, right? But but then they kept saying, Wolfgang's back in a couple of weeks. Wolfgang's back. And I'm like, who's this? Who's Wolfgang? But there was no social media or anything back then. So they kept saying it, and then the next week, Wolfgang will be back next week. So my imagination's gone mental, right? So I had painted Wolfgang as like this 6'5" guy with like jet black hair, ponytail beard, like long duster coat on. And then the following week, Wolfgang did come back, and I remember I might have fabricated this, but I'm sure you cartwheeled in the front door, right? And you were wearing white dungarees. You had a pink strip in your hair and full face paint.
That sounds about right.
It does sound about right. Full face paint. Now,
wee skinny.
Right. So, no, because I remember, like, I suppose, you would have been then. But, like Drew, I think Drew was always like this big, massive guy. If you look back, he was skinny. We were just skinny. And I was, like, you were always like really strong and like annoyingly athletic. You know what I mean? Like,
I just spent 2 weeks in Tenerife with my mum and dad, learning how to do a swanton on a trampoline. Right.
And it's served you well.
So far.
Do you know what I mean? Served you well.
My back's knackered now. After 20 years I've landed on it. But
that 2 week holiday in Tenerife was the building blocks of your WWE career.
I guess.
Big guy that shouldn't be able to do stuff, does stuff. Because of Tenerife.
Because of Tenerife.
Thanks. And I'm pretty sure you came in with like bags of like gifts for everybody. You know the things you would water and their hair would grow?
I brought them.
I'm sure it was. Didn't bring me one, didn't you? Didn't know me?
Chai pets.
No. Like, it was like a pair of tights filled with, had a face on it and you would water it.
Right.
Before chai pets, it was like,
Was
it like, what's the stuff? What's the green stuff?
Grass.
Cress. Cress, that kind of thing. But so that was my first. That was my image of Wolfgang versus Wolfgang in real life.
Through the door.
Now there was a kind of similarity. Like I remember talking about having a gimmick. You had the gimmick. You had the face paint. Right, remember you had like you had the kind of buckles and stuff like that.
I seen that today. I nearly brought that with me.
Oh, did you?
Aye, it's sitting because my dad's just moved house and getting rid of a lot of stuff, and I've took all my old wrestling gear off him. And that black vest with the buckles across it is there.
Oh my God.
There's no way I'd fit it now.
No,
but I nearly brought it in. It was weird that I walked past it today and I could have brought it in.
You keep that on you, and I'll see if I can find my one earned stripy jumper. Because like, I was like I always wanted to be. Don't say it.
Your
Don't
wrestling
say
name?
it.
There's a good wrestling name. Jack Sabbath.
Oh.
Jack Sabbath would have been a great wrestler.
Oh no, I don't get a ready very often, but I've got a bit of beer here.
What a name though!
Jack
like,
Sabbath
for a wrestler name.
I know.
My first wrestling name was going to be Damage.
Damage, that's right. That's not as bad as Jack Sabbath.
I don't know.
Slightly better than Jack Jester. Was it you that was at a comedy night with Liam Thompson?
Aye.
And obviously like you're a target when you're at these things. If you
Sit in front row as well.
don't dare say you're a pro wrestler, what are you playing at? Say you're an electrician or something, right?
So what do you do?
What do you do? And he was like, I'm a wrestler. What's your wrestler name? Bad Boy Liam Thompson.
Aye.
And apparently the guy went, were you at the end of the queue when they were dishing out wrestling names?
Aye. In a room full of people, the worst thing you could have said. And Liam's like, what, 5'4"
or something. Tiny.
Aye. I'm Bad Boy Liam Thompson.
Bad Boy Liam Thompson. Oh, bless him, man. I love Liam. But
Kept it though. That was his name all the way through.
all the way through.
Aye. But his name is Liam Thompson.
Yeah.
That's his legit name. He
LT,
just put
aye.
Bad Boy before it.
Yeah.
One of the best ever.
Oh, the absolute.
One of my favourite.
He was somebody that I felt really you felt him there,
Aye.
both in the ring and just having him there. He was such a.
Aye. You'd
It was
want
just
him in any
great
locker
to be
room.
around.
Aye.
Aye, absolutely
He still
brilliant.
is.
And I've never. It's one of the very few people. And I'm talking about two people that I don't know anybody who actually has a bad word to say about him.
Aye.
And that's a miracle in wrestling. Like you're always going to piss somebody off. He's managed to just go through and no upset anybody and no annoy anybody. And
Aye.
that's
He's just a good
a
guy.
testament to the man.
He's a good guy.
But so with the face paint and all that, did you ever get like backlash or like a kind of slagging for wanting to do that by any of the coaches or?
No. Everybody, it was very much creative freedom for all years, wasn't it? You could do what you want.
Oh, you could do what you want, but basically,
I figured out myself quite quickly that I didn't really want to wear it. Spinner McKenzie would have says to me.
right.
Um,
That's amazing how you said that because this is why I'm bringing it up.
aye,
Right?
he says to me, "Why are you covering up your face? You're a good-looking guy, and you're covering up. You want to pro wrestling. You want to like lean into any asset you've got to try and connect to the audience." And he was like, "Stop covering your face."
It
up.
was slightly kinder to you because he went when I put the contact lens in.
Right.
He went, "Why are you wearing that? It's fucking stupid. Nobody can see it. Maybe you should learn how to wrestle before trying to dress yourself up." So if I had to listen to him then, I would have took it out and never put it back in again.
Spinner McKenzie came for an age where it was like
aye.
Big Daddy and Robbie Brookside and all that was coming through Regal and Finley's and all that. So he came to a day where it was treated like a legit thing, and they would have had characters back then that might
Of
have.
course they did.
Aye. I
mean, like,
so that would have been a
all
weird
of them.
thing. Aye.
Like you're with the World of Sport guys, you're the best ones, the legitimately good ones were trunks and boots guys.
Aye.
Your Johnny Saints and your Marty Jones and your Fit Finleys and but the big stars were Big Daddy,
And the characters.
who had the big glittery coat and the
Cat
top
Wee-
hat,
Cat
Cat
Weasel.
Weasel.
Aye.
Adrian Street.
Aye,
Adrian
he's
Street was
mega.
one of the good ones as well. He was actually brilliant, but with the character.
That was the thing, that a lot of them could back it up.
Well, Adrian Street certainly could.
Aye.
But the story of
His
him,
documentary is great.
amazing. The story of him getting in shape and getting the tan and the oil and the nice blue tights,
Mm-hmm.
the blonde hair, thinking women are going to love me, and then walking out and everybody was wolf whistling and like basically kind of like, because back then it was like that was a very gay thing to do, and he was devastated by it because he was embarrassed, but then went, hold on,
I've got something here.
aye.
Aye.
I mean, if they're doing it for this, what if I put pigtails in and got a feather coat and
Go as far
and
as
he
you
was
can with it.
absolutely, but if you weren't fucking with the guy, he was legit.
Aye.
Absolutely legit. But I was always like, it's like I was always a character guy. Like I get into it because of the characters, and if you listen to the criticism straight off, if somebody just goes, "That's stupid, don't do it," and you just go, "Oh, take the contact lens or wipe it off," it's like, I don't know, you have to stick up for yourself. Because for me, with this, it was always a case of, right, there's competition out there. There's people that are more athletic than me and better than me and whatever else. So what's the thing that I can do that is going to go bang and people are going to remember it?
Yeah.
And even if folk don't remember my name after it, it's like, I'm the guy with the white eye,
Aye.
or
Aye.
the guy with the face paint, or the guy with the mask, or whatever else. So it's like, that was my kind of thought process behind it.
And it's stuck with you, and it's a good thing that you
It's
never did get rid of it, because it's
Exactly.
It's became iconic. At
and
this
that's
point.
even then. That's like I kind of debated whether to wear this. I'm like, well, the whole point of this is the Brass Neck podcast. That is a perfect example. I've got a guy who worked for World of Sport, Big Daddy's tag team partner, like everybody was back then. Embarrassing me and telling me that's fucking stupid.
Aye.
Don't wear that. Like nobody's going to be able to see it.
this is one of your coaches who's meant to know better and meant to be guiding you
Exactly.
towards success.
But I mean, there wasn't many coaches back then that were guiding you towards anything. They were just, enforcing the kind of old school mentality of back then, the bullying, we used to go there and get battered, like, really.
Right.
I remember, like, you couldn't relax because you'd be sitting talking and one of them would run up and double slap you in the back of the angel wings. They would call it angel wings because they would slap you and leave big handprints in your shoulder blades.
You came up when it was we had Rutherglen or Cambuslang. We had that ring there, but you go back to the post office where it was just thick, dense judo mats as hard as this desk. And our trainer would be power bombing us, suplexing us onto that. But then he had a guest seminar where he brought 2 people up.
Right.
Carol Conroy.
Right.
And no Spitfire, 5-star Flash. And their seminar was, we stood in a line while one chopped us.
5-star. That was his thing.
The other one gave us like a snapmare and a spinal tap. As hard as they could. They'd put you in the spine. And whatever the other one was just stretching you. And it was just, you were standing in a queue to go around and get battered with these people. And this was making you a better wrestler.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, it was like a bunch of angry guys back then who'd clearly been bullied in their training time.
They're passing on what their experiences.
Didn't they say it at the time, have grown older, regret it, they're ashamed of themselves for not doing it. But you tell me the mentality of that happened to me, so I'm doing it to you.
Right.
It blows my mind.
The good thing is, like, we've all made it better.
And I remember, like, when we started GPWA back in the day, sitting going, just because it's always been this way doesn't mean that it has to continue. And we can be the ones that break the chain and say it changes for now. So it wasn't pay as you go anymore. We did the intake system. We did 8 weeks, pass or fail, 8 weeks, pass or fail. That is, even now I go, the balls it took for us to do that. And when a start-up company, when we could have just went, we're ICW, we've got a ring, we're in the asylum, give me £20 a week. We didn't do it. And there was a system for it on.
And there's a lot of places like that will just let you train. And going back to Spinner McKenzie, I remember sitting in a room with him and he says to Oyes, you should just be treating this like a hobby. And at that point, nobody, we were all trying to chase the dream of being, I guess, WWE wrestlers at that point. We eventually just became wrestlers out with WWE, and that was enough. But at that point, nobody for our country had ever been signed to the WWE. So we were training. I started 2002, had my first match February 23. So I've been doing this 23 years.
Come on, Grand Hall? First match?
No, it was Barhead Sports Centre. But then the Command came along. That was my first singles match.
Right, okay.
So that would have been the same year. But at that point, nobody for our country had ever worked for the WWE. So Spinner saying to us, you should just be treating this like a hobby. Made sense, you know what I mean?
It did make, of course it did.
At that point, we were just having fun.
But it shows you the mentality back then. Of like, this is as good as it's going to get. Don't bother trying. That. It was impossible. I mean, it really was. It was like, it wasn't. But then you go, of course it is.
Like, of course, anybody can do it, especially now. Oh well, there's a path now.
There's a path now. I remember Drew getting his tryout. I remember Drew telling me he'd been signed in the Beer Garden of Smiths. I talk about it all the time, and I remember going like, I was so shocked, but at the same time, well, of course you got it. But he'd done something that nobody had ever done before. And he'd done it, and then it was like, and then we yourself, like, there's been more signed since Drew, but still a very.
Even when he went, it didn't seem. When he went, I thought, right, they've got their big Scottish guy, and all of us had just settled, right, Drew will go and do that, and we'll build this up. And the day that Drew left, we had the going away party. Andy says to me as I was pulling the shutter down in the Locala, he says, we don't need to go to America. America's going to come here. And this was 2006. Fast forward another 6 years. And we are selling out, 6,500 in the Hydro on an independent show. And at that point, the WWE needs to go, what's happening there? And they took notice. And
but see, when you think
the prophet, Andy Wasson, knew exactly what was coming.
But I just think, do you think, like, it's astonishing to think, like, how young we were, but how we just not even like self-confidence or arrogance. It was like Drew said something in his book along the lines of, when we started there was no wrestling scene, then we came along and there was. It was something like that. Basically, we had no incentive to work hard when we were in that unit in Cambuslang. There was nothing there. There was no big show to work towards. We did it because we loved wrestling, And then we all, not by mistake, but like we just kept going, and it got bigger and better, and the quality got better, and people to the point where Scotland became like a mecca of world wrestling.
Aye, crazy.
Like it's absolutely mental. But
like for as much as when Drew got signed, he was the first guy.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Noam or Nicky.
Yeah.
Or Damo. I don't know
Damo,
what the order was, but it became more and more people.
He's Irish. Sorry, Damo, but I'm going to delete you for this. Well done, proud of you, but you're no Scottish, mate. So
made his name in Scotland, the pro wrestler. And at that point, even then, it seemed like right, they've got a quota. They've only going to get so many guys.
Yeah.
But at one point, there was 5 of us, and there's 5 million people in Scotland.
Yeah.
And at one point, 5 Scottish wrestlers held a WWE championship.
Yeah.
At the one time. This was all during lockdown when Drew won the belt.
It was
crazy.
incredible, man.
Like that's how, I'm not blowing our own horn here, but we were off. Can I swear? We were off fucking class.
Aye.
Like, it was crazy how good we all were in making each other better, and the whole thing just coming up together. Drew was away. There wasn't one star.
No.
There was a complete variety of everybody, and everybody had an attachment to it, and it was mental. Like, to go for 30 people in Maryhill to 6,500 in the Hydro.
Me, you and Drew all trained in that dump, right? That shithole. We were all there. And then see, watching it, like, I mean, I had a couple of WWE tryouts, right? But even when I was there, I'm going, this is a formality. Like, I never went for it. It was Drew McDonald that said, be ready for this date. You know, but I could have sat there and kidded myself on and gone, it went really well. It didn't. Like, it was just, I was like, I know the people that are in here. I know what my strengths are, but I know what my weaknesses are. And like, there's no chance, right? But there was never I was always mega proud of Drew, obviously.
Aye.
But then when yous went, it was the same thing, and it was like this. I was like, I know Drew was the first. He was the first. But there was so little ease that have went and done it. And not only to go there and you're not treading water. You went out there and became tag team champs. So it was, and we all came for this tiny wee city.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean?
It was bonkers.
And
how could we all meet in the one place, fall in love with this thing, pro wrestling, and everyone is get success out of it in some way or another? It was
astonishing.
Aye.
Astonishing. And like Drew, this whole, it's like when people get what they want or become famous, they go, what is he got to be moan about, or what's he got to complain about? Yeah. Lots. Right, just because you're famous and you've got what you want, and that comes with stuff that you didn't expect when you went there, right? So for yourself as well, you go, I work for WWE. You don't expect all the other stuff that comes with it, right? And like you've moved your whole life from the East End of Glasgow to Florida, built a life, and then whenever it happens, it's gone.
Yep.
And you're back again.
You've got 30 days to get out of the country before ICE come chapping at your door.
Right.
That was a scary thing. And it's one thing getting let go for the WWE if you live in America. But if you're a foreigner, you get 30 days after your contract ends to leave the country. Or you get a new one in place which costs tens of thousands.
It's just it's I don't like I'm too I need to know everything and plan everything. I just don't know I just don't know how any has done it. I mean, the massive jump from leaving your family and stuff to go to a different country, then the pressure of the job and the competition of the job and how it's constant, it never ends, and then the dangling the carrot and it getting took away from you, and then the promise that would very quickly drive me up my nut.
It really would. It messes you more than anything. Aye, but it was again like we are lucky to have each other out there.
Aye.
I had my wife with me. That was nice. Like, there's already people out there that were set up. I couldn't imagine what it was like for Drew when he first went there.
No.
When I went there, Kim was already there. Kaylee was already there. Like, there was a wee bit of Glasgow.
A community there already.
Aye.
I mean, you're saying Drew, like, I mean, how... Drew wasn't even for the city.
I know.
Drew was for a tiny wee place. And that is like the first man in the moon. That's what that is.
Aye.
And no winner.
Especially talking the way he talks.
Oh my God. I back then.
Aye.
Drew's talking's never got any better. It's got worse in different ways. But it's like, the first time Drew took training with us, there was no raising of voices. We were all like, pierced the eye, because he just would not talk any louder than he did. And he's never really changed.
I can understand why he talks funny, because trying to be understood earlier with a thick Scottish Glaswegian accent, I had to tell them my name was Barry.
Yeah.
Whenever I say my name to him, Barry. Because whenever I say Barry, they don't understand. They think it's a different name. And some of them say that name back to me with my accent. And I'm thinking, if I was from a different country, telling you my name, and you says it back to me with my accent, I don't know if it's acceptable.
Well, that's what Drew said. He was like, you can either be stubborn and wait in a queue and say, can I get a cheeseburger? Can I cheese? You can say it 50, or just say, can I have a cheeseburger? You get served quick. But then that's me. I'm going, no.
Aye.
I do
fight against
I will say cheeseburger until you understand what I'm saying, because it's not that
the context.
Different.
I'm starting here at a fast food place. Just take a bit of context into what I'm saying and you'll understand.
I'm not waiting in a McDonald's queue asking for the latest Dyson Hoover. I'm pointing and saying
that was
cheeseburger. You're deliberately not listening to me.
Aye.
And it's like going to London. Like just you know what I'm saying, and I'm not going to move until you take my Scottish fiver for this chewing gum I'm buying. I'm no buying chewing gum on my fucking credit card because you are pretending you don't know what I say.
No, just take a bit of context.
Legal tender. I'll phone the police. That
was a nightmare.
Oh my God.
So there was a guy that worked with me for 6 months, and for the first, well, he worked with me for longer than that, but for 6 months he thought my name was Brad or Brett or something different.
Something
Paddy. He thought my name was Paddy.
Because I
says Barry.
Aye.
Paddy.
Aye.
I've been calling him Paddy this whole time.
Well, because you're ignorant.
It's Barry.
You're ignorant and you're not trying. Do you know what I mean?
Barry.
But it's like, it's so alien. But like with Drew, when he was there at first, and he was. I mean, he couldn't have come in higher.
Right.
Like the chairman of the owner of the company bringing you out and saying, I see myself, and he's the chosen one. 2 weeks after he landed, by the way.
Straight on.
Right. Now, what do you think that is going to do to a Scottish boy in his 20s? That is too much. That is like the pressure.
So I guess I was pretty lucky. By the time I moved there, I was already like mid-30s.
Aye.
And had a bit of sensible head on.
But you go, is that a benefit? Is it no? Like you go, obviously the younger you get signed, the more time you've got, but you're a child.
Yeah.
And like nobody's prepared for that life, whether you're 30 or 15 or whatever else.
Right.
But it's like just such a mad culture shock, and then realising that it's a big competition and you can't really win unless somebody wants you to. And
It's like that's what I think. So my time in NXT was spent with a lot of guys who never wanted to be pro wrestlers. They wanted to be American football players or shot putters. They wanted to go to Olympics. There was other things. And then they get a message through Instagram saying, do you want to come to a WWE tryout?
Yeah.
They've never watched WWE because they've always been so focused on their thing. Or their parents will get that shit off. You can't watch that. That's all fake. So they just dismiss it. And then they get a message through Instagram when they get popular enough or enough followers saying, do you want to come to a tryout? And then they get shown WrestleMania. Yeah. Like, this is what you could have, and you're going to get a pay rise every 6 months, and before you know it, you'll be a millionaire, and you'll be on this, that, and the next thing. You'll be main event in WrestleMania, and it's all illusions of grandeur.
Did they say that to you when you went?
No,
of course, right?
No,
because you're not an NFL football player or the world's strongest man or something. It must be frustrating.
Aye,
you've worked your whole life
Yep.
to get that because you want that thing, you want to be there,
Yep.
and then you become a vehicle to bump for the guy that's never done it before.
Crash test dummies.
And I think it's getting worse. I think it's that they don't try and hide the fact anymore.
Aye.
You know what
They
I mean?
know
It's
the
like,
people they want to succeed, and they're going to do everything they can to, against their better judgment to make these people succeed.
aye, it's
But like, I use the term crash test dummies because it felt like they were using our experience, and a lot of these guys have never seen pro wrestling, never done it, and they're having to learn on the job, on live television. And we were the guys having to teach these people how to move.
Yeah.
Left foot, right foot, and then they're just
to the basics.
My tag partner had his teeth knocked in. He had been concussed several times, all because these guys don't have the experience that you and I have.
Yep.
But we've done this for years, and we can do it with our eyes shut.
Yep.
They're literally learning on live television and just knocking your teeth in, punching the nose, like throat.
And this isn't a normal person doing this. This is a giant of a man.
This is an Olympic level pro wrestler, amateur wrestler, an Olympic level amateur wrestler whose gut instinct is to grab and throw.
That's
and there's a moment on live television where my tag partner get picked up in the air. He's like, "What are we doing?" And the guy says, "I don't know." And
who was it?
Flung him.
Who picked him up?
Brutus Creed.
Oh,
amateur wrestler.
Okay.
But their instinct when they panic is just to grab and throw. And if I end up on your shoulders and I don't know where we're going,
you climb up, right? It's
Aye,
but then
what are we doing?
that makes me. Drew telling a story. He was like, when somebody picks you up, you can base yourself and stuff. When Lesnar picks you up,
you're gone.
he says, I'm the cameras. I'm not selling. I am getting ready because he is going to launch me. You know, you're meant to like struggle when you're on the shoulders and all that. He's like, he's just so strong.
That's a guy who knows how to land you.
Of course.
Safely.
That's a different thing. That's Brock Lesnar with that strength.
He's had all that experience.
You take that strength
and whatever.
You take that strength with no knowledge.
Aye.
It's scary.
It is scary. It's intimidating.
But you're saying obviously the feeling like a crash test dummy for these guys. But on the subject to you training people or training with people, you go for that to the Rock.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Like that. I mean that again. It was one of the things when I saw that. I'm going. I mean, of course, if you're going to get MD to go and work with him for this, that makes sense. But that's also Barry.
Aye.
That's training with The Rock. You know what I mean? It's like
to go for Rutherglen.
Right.
Wrestling and
when we were watching him
obsessively
every single week, wearing these t-shirts and doing the catchphrases, and you're there training like
it was crazy. It was surreal.
Aye.
But it was mad validation. Like for all the work that we'd all been doing over the years and for how good we've got to have that responsibility.
Oh my God.
Of the biggest star in the world making his return to pro wrestling for the biggest show ever, Wrestlemania 40, for the main event. It was a crazy responsibility. When I got the message, Matt Bloom, Big A-Train, sent us a text on the Monday saying, pack a bag, you're flying to LA, you're going to train The Rock. And this was start of April, so I thought, is this an April Fool's? Because he's a big wind-up merchant. And he would generally just message you rubbish. And he's like, no, it's real. You're WWE Travel will be in touch with you and you'll be flying out to LA and to train The Rock. And it was just a mad.
I mean, like, I don't care who you are, I would have no shame in being a mark about that.
Well,
I mean, you can't, not to him, but you must in your stomach go, oh my God.
Aye.
Oh my God.
Well, so you say we grew up watching these guys, we idolised these guys, and that was who we wanted to be when we were younger. And to be put in a room with him when the responsibility of having to get him ready, and it was sound, you know what I mean? It was pure down to earth, like cracking guy, easy to talk to, had a laugh with. After it, we'd get flown out to be there, we'd get paid to be there. He didn't have to do this, but he ended up sending us like a full line of his Project Rock Under Armour gear. He sent his boxes with a clays. He sent his cases, Terramina, tequila. Just super grateful for us being there and giving us our time. And we're like, you're The Rock. Look, of course we're going to be there and do it.
I'll do it if you want.
I'm going to do it anyway.
Because you know what it's like, the feeling of meeting or working with a WWE, even an ex-WWE guy when you're kind of young. The responsibility is, he's one of them. I've watched him on the telly, but I mean, there is no. I mean, I just can't think of MD past him.
No,
like Cena maybe, or like no, but just in terms of megastar. But then The Rock's a movie star. And it's like
like there was. Everybody knows him. Everybody knows The Rock. And when that news came out, or even before it came out, and like my cousin Richard or Conley and that, like we all watched these guys growing up, and it was like for them to see me being in that realm again was another sort of like validation of like, fuck, like these guys are. And I'm going to,
and this is a flex, man. Like I think you know what I'm going to say, but so you're in Los Angeles training The Rock, the guy. I mean, over any era, The Rock is the final boss, right? You're there. I was watching back in Insane Fight Club that we did for BBC with ICW when ICW was flying, and it was following Grado, it was following me, it was following, and then it came to you, and you were working in the La Calabar, which was your pub for years, which was the mecca for Oyers. Like our lives revolved around this pub.
We were either working in there or we were meeting there to go to a show, or it was just that's where we'd hang out.
What a place.
Have a wee look in through the night.
What a place.
With Connie on the piano.
Oh, Connie on the piano. We used to have like deep fry Wednesdays, mind. We used to like batter stuff. We used to make a deep fried batter toasty.
Chikuna matata. Chicken pakora underneath tuna mayonnaise with melted cheese on top.
Aye, that was your creation.
Chikuna matata.
Neighbour, you've got gout.
Might be some.
But watching this on telly, this was on the BBC, and they're asking you about WWE, and you're behind the bar, and you said, I'm not really bothered about WWE. Like, I'm kind of happy just wrestling at the weekend. As long as I'm happy just working in the pubs, because I can do the pub and I can do my shows at the weekend.
Right.
And I remember pausing it and messaging you, going, I'm watching this, and you are on telly saying you're no really arsed about going to WWE.
Aye.
As long as you've got the pub and your shows at the weekends, that'll do you fine.
Because that's...
And here you are training, and I was like, what a flex. I don't really care about going, and you're fucking in America training The Rock. I was like, that's when you know you're good. It's
back then, again, even when that BBC documentary was coming out, there wasn't a path to the WWE. Like, it didn't feel like any of us could get there while they had the big Adonis that is Drew.
Aye.
So I was happy wrestling you at the weekends. And that was being a wrestler. That became what I wanted to be.
And at that point in time, that the wrestling world in Scotland was good. We were flying high, and it was.
Aye. It wasn't until after the documentary came out that it really started to take off.
But back then it was that good that you kind of went, well, I'm genuinely happy. It's not a negative thing. Like no. But it was just the term. You just like, I mean, I'm happy here. I'm not really bothered.
No.
And then you've just by you've ended up not just there, but you've had titles. You're training The Rock.
I was lucky.
And to go, it's a great story, man.
We had everybody, we had each other, and we were all building this thing, and it got to a certain level where the WWE did take notice. Yeah. And I was lucky and fortunate enough that I didn't have to do a tryout. Mm-hmm. I was in a position where we were on tour with ICW in Manchester, and William Regal came to watch.
That's right,
And
the Ritz.
And I was on with Noam Dar, who they already knew, and I think they'd maybe already signed or they'd worked with at that point. And Noam says to me, all they want to see is if you can batter somebody. And he just let me batter him for 10 minutes in front of Regal. And off the back of that, I got in touch with him, and he was like, have you signed this sort of the online like WWE recruit thing? You sign up for a form just to put your name in the hat,
LinkedIn
sort of thing. Aye. So I'd done that, and then a couple of weeks later they got in touch with me saying there's an offer on the table for this UK tournament. So I was just like lucky enough to be in Manchester that night to be wrestling in front of him, and then World of Sport was kicking off.
That's right.
So there was a lot of guys signed to there that could do the WWE. So again, luck was on my side that I was the only guy in Scotland, and that felt like a lot of responsibility because we were flying high. In Scotland at this point.
We had Drew, who was the first, but then when all the NXT UK stuff came up, you were the first there. All right, luck and all that, cool, but it wasn't just luck, right?
No, but it wasn't like hard work for everybody to get to that point that anybody could take notice. So I was, and I had a bit of brass neck reaching out to Regal, going, by the way, is anything going here? Yeah, and it felt like that brass neck got me through, because even on the tournament day, I was only meant to have 2 matches and then be eliminated. I was never meant to make it to the semi-final, which is the final 4. Yep. The final 4 they wanted was Trent Seven, Pete Dunne, Mark Andrews, and Tyler Bate. Yep. And I showed up. I had a match with Tyson T-Bone, beat him. I was meant to have a match with Trent Seven, and he was meant to beat me, to the point where he'd already recorded a post-match promo where he'd beat me, and he was going to face his tag partner, Tyler Bate. That all got scrapped the first night. And Big Bloom says to me, make sure you get some rest, you're going to need it. And then I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, man. Thinking, I'm getting through here. Yeah. So I ended up beating Trent, which was a surprise to everybody. And they were watching it in the garage in Glasgow. Yeah. And half time, the place erupted because I beat Trent down in Blackpool. Yeah. And nobody was expecting me to do that. Like, they had their 4 that they'd already assigned. But then I beat him, Tyler beat me, and Tyler ended up winning it. Yep. But after the show, I heard that there was people going to America, the 4 of them that they'd already accounted for. And I went up to Regal and I was like, I'll come to America with you. How do I get that? Like, do I need to get a visa or something? Like, let me know and I'll sort this out. Whatever you need. And he was just like, no, like, if we'll be in touch, sort of thing, like, if anything. Yeah. And then sure enough, they took us earlier, and one thing led to another. We ended up signing with them. But had I had enough of a brass neck to just go up to Regal and go, I'll come. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Shy wins don't get sweetest, right?
Aye.
But it's like, but I said this way. We drew with you. There's that when at Disney, when it's not gone well, and you know, like yourself recently, you were released and stuff. Like I feel like I've always been like the wee Jiminy Cricket on Drew's shoulder, going, just remember, because there's times when he's pissed off for good reasons. Aye. Just remember who you are, what you've done, what you've achieved, and it's like I think the losing the contract and come, that's what people focus on. But I'm like, you will always be one of the very first who went for, and I was there for the very start for that training school in Cambuslang, all the way through like the Lacala. We walked in the pub together, we did this, all these shows, ICW, and you went and done that. And it's like, it's astonishing what you can achieve. Gone for that to where you were, all the way through WWE, training The Rock, because you said you had the brass neck to go for it.
Aye,
and it's a superpower, man.
Aye.
It really is. Like, if you use it the right way, you can literally achieve anything.
Aye.
But that's career. I'm going to, one last thing, right? I know you'll have 100 stories because I know your family, but I was telling stories about something within your family or a person within your family who did something that would be described as a brass neck, but seems completely unbelievable. Like, so for example,
think off the top of my head?
There's hundreds of them. I could tell you them. Somebody, one of your family that have done something that nobody else would totally believe. I don't mean achieved like that, just like something that is absolutely. So Louise McCarthy was in. She was saying they went to Blair Drum Safari Park, and her uncle went, "You want a monkey?" and rolled the window down. The monkey came out and he was sitting in the wee bit with the glass eating nuts. And his uncle went up, boom, rolled the window up, and the monkey was bouncing off the motor, right? So I'm like, right, something like that.
You put me on the spot here. I mean, my dad holds a bit of brass neck. My dad would just do what he wants as long as you act like you belong there.
Right,
You could do anything. Have you got like particular stories in your head?
No, I mean, there's hundreds of them between. I would say every member of your family would have something mental. Right, okay, I'm going to change this. Right, we were talking about how having really supportive parents and how it's very unusual.
Yeah,
I've got them, you've got them,
right.
And it was, but your dad is like mama in the terms of somebody says something and you go, I am doing this, and he'll jump in and tell you everything about your career. And it was like, and I always say when you went to, did you say Route 66 when you, it's like it took you 4 times the length to get around it because every garage just stopped it.
Aye.
He would tell the whole story of Wolfgang.
Aye, I was waiting on him. My boy's a wrestler. That was his catchphrase.
My boy's a wrestler.
And he's always got a video ready to show you. He's like the proudest dad in the world. I'm very lucky because everything I wanted to do, until we found that pro wrestling gym in Rutherglen or East Kilbride, I wanted to be a basketball player because Space Jam was it.
Right,
he found a basketball place for me to go to. I went and done that for a couple of weeks until I stayed my thumb. Never went back.
That's that game over. You can't come back if you're injured like that.
I was never into football, and I tried it maybe once for him. But whether it was football, baseball, basketball, and amateur wrestling, we found amateur wrestling.
Yeah.
His theory was if you want to be a pro, you need to start as an amateur. Which
boring, but
there's
not a face paint or glitter. I'm not doing that.
I kind of wear my buckles. But when I went to the amateur wrestling, it was just there was spare time, so I would be practicing suplexes and splashes on people. But that gave me a good fundamental for like a base of actual wrestling. Until we found that. But I was lucky that my mom and dad were always like super supportive, and there was never a case of, oh, you need to get a real job. You need to go and get a trade, which would have been nice to fall back on at this point.
It's a sensible option, and I would always say that. But like, just sometimes,
just being able to chase what you want to be, like whatever you were wanting to be when you were a wee guy or a wee lassie, like nobody can tell you no. Like they've done it, you can do it, and there's no reason why you can't do it, other than not having enough brass neck to go for it. Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. I think that's a perfect out. Perfect out. So, thank you for tuning in to the Brass Neck Podcast. I've been Jack Jester. That has been Barry Wolfgang Young. Barry Wolfgang Young. Until next week, beat it! A fine wee lass, a bonny wee lass, is bonny wee Jeannie McCall. I gave her my mother's engagement ring and a bonny wee tartan shawl. I met her at a wedding in the Cooperative Hall. I was the best man and she was the belle of the ball. The very first night I met her, she was awfully shy. The rain came pouring in, but she was happy, so was I. We ran like mad for shelter and we landed up a stair. The rain came pouring out in my bricks, but I didn't care, cause she's a fine wee lass, a bonny wee lass, is bonny wee Jeannie McCall. I gave her my mother's engagement ring and a bonny wee tartan shawl. I met her at a wedding in the Cooperative Hall. I was the best man and she was the belle of the ball.